In New York, it's not just about the ouch, my leg hurts, or ouch, this is broken like a bone, but also the broken heart. People hear the term pain and suffering all the time, but what does it really mean? Well, it's the physical or mental loss that a person experiences after they are a victim in an accident. Now, when you talk about pain and suffering in a courtroom, I mean, it's very easy to talk about pain and suffering when you're talking about a broken bone, a loss of a limb, something that requires a surgery or a cast. That's something that is apparent to the naked eye. People can see it. It's easy for a juror or a judge to understand. It gets a little harder when you're talking about pain you can't see. All right, what I'm talking about is someone who says, you know, my back hurts, my neck hurts, I've got shooting pain in my leg, but you don't have a cast or crutches or an x-ray that shows a broken bone that necessarily shows it. And then the harder part, perhaps the hardest part, is when someone says, yeah, that I have an emotional void in my life because this accident has caused me to lose the ability to do something I love, to pursue an opportunity that I would have otherwise been able to pursue. Or it's taking something that's so important to the fabric of my life away, or making it so that I'm doing it with pain or limitation, that it's really impacting my ability to enjoy my life. Now, when you talk about pain and suffering, there's different ways that you can go about proving it. How do you prove pain and suffering in a courtroom? Well, you can use the witness testimony. It can be witnesses of your victim. It can be relatives, family, and friends of your victim that can talk about the differences in what they see in the person's quality of life. It can come in the form of medical testimony. It can be medical records. It can be diagnostic test results that you actually show the jury, like a broken bone. Other ways you can show pain and suffering can come in the form of pictures, videos. Sometimes when we have someone who sustains a real debilitating injury, we do something called a day in the life video. And that's a video that's taken where it shows what that person struggles through every single day. It can really vividly capture the attention of a jury and really drive home how much and how pronounced the loss is for your client. I always say, when I'm thinking about a pain and suffering case, I think back to a saying that came from a book and eventually made its way into a movie. It's better to break a person's leg than break a person's heart. And so I always try to get to the core of what's important in my client's life. And we do that by spending time with them, getting to know them, asking them questions. It's far more impactful and persuasive when you're able to talk about your client. Instead of saying, my client broke my leg, you're able to talk about the injuries and the pronounced loss that the client is experiencing when they can't get on the ground and play with their 4-year-old because they're in too much pain. That connects and resonates with jurors and helps them better understand the loss that your client experiences. Is the person no longer able to work? Is the person no longer able to travel? Is the person no longer able to pursue an activity that they love, like playing soccer or something like that? Those are the things that extend beyond a medical record, beyond an x-ray, that help you connect a jury with your client and help them understand your client's plight. One of the challenges that a trial lawyer faces is, how do you quantify or measure pain and suffering? It's easy to look at someone's lost wages and say, this is their salary, these were their benefits, this is what they're entitled to. Or a medical record that says, this is the bill, this is what they had to pay, this is what you owe. But how do you measure the loss of the enjoyment in a person's life? Or what it's like to every day get up and feel like you're going to live 24 hours straight of grueling pain? Those are the things that separate the good lawyers from the great lawyers. The great lawyers can bring that to life for a jury to really understand how this accident is affecting the happiness of your client, what they're able to do and what they've lost. I always look at the personal injury trial and say it's like a before and after picture, and it's your job to show the after picture and how much it's different than the pre-accident photo of that person's life.